if you are a trader, you understand tilt and you understand the reason you usually lose money is because you don't protect your profits. You don't respect your stop loss. You don't respect your max drawdown for the day. You don't have the ability to do a trailing stop or anything. So I built this Moondev risk control simply because every hedge fund or quant firm that I have ever talked to or visited, they have a risk department, which is usually a guy or two or three and some software that watches all of their traders. And if they ever hit their max drawdown for the day, they're done for the day. So you can see here, I can say, hey, max daily loss of the day is 20 bucks or whatever on this account. Okay, for a 12-hour session. Well, if I ever go under that, it's going to close all positions. And if I try to open new positions, it's going to close them. I have the take profit stop loss, which is nice. I know you can do this on an exchange too, but having like for example, if you're using a 3% stop loss and take profit on the exchange, well, you might take those off. I know you've done that before. Well, you can have this running in the background and say 5%, 5%. Okay, if it ever hits that, then we'll go ahead and close it. And you could have it be a trailing stop loss too. So instead of a regular stop loss, this will trail the price at all times. And if it ever goes down 5%, then it'll close. Another reason you get absolutely smoked in trading is because you use too much leverage. So if I hit 10 leverage here and then I try to go ahead and I add more leverage, it'll close the position. Watch, if I hit start protection session, I'm not in a position yet, but let me go ahead and join a position here on Hyperliquid, and you'll be able to see how this all works. And I show you how to build everything here in this video. So you can see max leverage exceeded. I put in a position for 40x leverage because I'm on tilt. So it's closing all positions. Thank God I have somebody looking over me, dude. Thank God. This is like a risk department for individual traders. Okay, well, I still haven't hit my max daily loss, so I can trade. I'm just above my max leverage. So let me go back to the exchange and say, okay, Moondev, let's bring that leverage down to appropriate amount, 10x leverage. Let's put it at 9x leverage, okay? And then we have our stop loss, take profit. And now I can enter a position, place order here, and it will just monitor my take profit stop loss. It's at a trailing stop loss. So you can see new position detected. You can see short 9x leverage. That's under the 10x. So we're chilling. And it will just watch my position until I hit that take profit or the trailing stop. Or if I hit my daily max loss, which this is unbelievably important because there's always going to be more days to trade. And you know that if you've ever lost a big trade, it's usually because you stopped. You let your kind of ego get in the way, right? Like, oh, this will turn around. But no. At the end of the day, you have to have hard set rules. Hey, I'm going to take profit at this amount, or I'm stop loss at this amount, or if I hit max drawdown, it's this amount. Now, I'm an algorithmic trader because I believe trading by hand is too hard, too emotional. You make these adjustments in game like this. So if you're not ready to learn how to code, well, at least you have this app that you can have running as your risk department at any time. You can see the daily max loss is unbelievably important. And it's going to be watching that at all times. When I hit my max loss, it will get me out of there. If I ever over leverage, it will get me out of there. If I hit my max loss and I try to get into a new position, it will get me out of there. And then you're going to try to stop protection session if you're ever on tilt. And you'll really have to want to do it. You'll have to say, I confirm I am stopping tilt protection, which is the point of this app, and I may lose money. So we make it a little hard for you to stop the protection because that's the whole point of it. But I did want to stop it so I could show you what happens when I do hit my daily max loss. So if I hit start protection again, you can see here I'm under my lowest amount allowed is 50.71 and I'm at 50.81. Let's see if I can go ahead and lose that. Okay, the position's going with me right now. You'll see what happens when the position is you can see I'm at 76 now. Perfect. Okay, max drawdown hit, closing all positions immediately. So this is going to save you your account so many times over. Closing new position, max loss protection has been activated. So all positions have been closed. This connects directly to Hyperliquid. Now watch this. If I try to enter a position again, place order here on Hyperliquid because I'm tilted and I'm just like, I got to win it back right now. I got to win it back. No, you don't have to win it back. You can win it back tomorrow after your 12-hour session is over. So closing new position. Now, I think this is super handy and I look forward to your feedback on it. Go ahead and watch this whole video. You'll see absolutely everything. Go ahead and smash the like button, as I believe code's a great equalizer and no exchange is ever going to put in these max daily losses or the max leverage or even the trailing stop loss because they're not on your team. They're trading against you. They just want your fees. They want you to trade more and more and more. So I highly recommend automating your trading, but I understand it is a big endeavor. You have to learn how to code. I'll show you step by step how to do it, how to automate your trading. But in the meantime, while you're learning, now you have a risk department that can manage risk for you like any prop firm, any hedge fund, any quant firm. Jim Simons absolutely had a risk department. Now you have one too. Let's dive into the video and I'll show you absolutely everything. Please do smash that like button. All right, this trading app that I built makes it really, really hard to lose. Of course, the best loser wins, but this risk control app that I built is essentially allowing or helping you lose better. So typically, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but your biggest losses come from you not obeying your stop loss, your take profit, or your max drawdown per day. You get on tilt. You're a human, me too. So once I realized that, I knew trading by hand was not the way. You have to have bots to trade for you, but I totally understand not everybody's going to take the multi-year dive and learn code like I did in order to automate my trading. So I built this yesterday and it's pretty sick. It's essentially sitting here and watching your stop loss, your take profit, and your max drawdown on the day, and will take you out of the market if you disobey any of those rules, or your stop loss hit, take profit hit, or max drawdown. Now, exchanges don't have anything like this in order to protect you from a max drawdown on the day. So I think this is very, very powerful. So I'm going to keep building on this here today, and I'll show you everything. You can see I can turn on the stop loss, take profit, say 1%, take profit 2%, and let's say my max loss is $100 a day. And I can say start protection, and you can see protection active. Okay, great. So what if I got into a trade? Well, let's go ahead and do that. It should be able to pick up my trade in just a couple seconds. You can see this active loss tracking. Current loss is 16 cents. I have a long position on here. The size is that size. The value is that value. P&L percentage. I want to add some things to this today. So I've got a lot of ideas I want to work on now that we are back at it. So let's keep going. Trading risk control app. In the positions section, I also want to have leverage on there. And the auto stop loss take profit, we don't need the switch on or off. It can just always be on. Or we don't even need the switch there. You can see it just took profit for me, by the way. So that's awesome. That's so dope. Yep, and I can see it on my screen here. Perfect. Let's see if I have that prompt still because home. So I just want I don't want this anymore. This here is good. Protection status is good. And then all of it will be activated when I click start protection. So maybe we can center that button a little bit more. Okay, what else? So we have total P&L, account value. Says I have an active loss here, probably because of fees. Trade history, closed P&L. Yeah, I actually lost money on that. See 8 cents because in and out. Let's change this to be a little bigger, 4 and 5. George, JP, what's up? 777. Orlando, what's up? Jimmy, good to see you guys. 777. The total P&L should be 24-hour P&L in the top. Since we're going to be centering the start protection a bit, we'll have more room under the max drawdown protection. Let's add in a max leverage section. And essentially, if we ever see the leverage over that amount, it closes the position, saying leverage increase past max amount, closing all positions. Let's add a section at the very bottom that says past executions, and this will be a log of all of the past executions that this app has made. So the risk control app has made. So for example, it will say, oh, we hit max drawdown, close the position, or hit stop loss, close the position, take profit, close the position. It'll be a log that looks really nice. That can be at the very bottom. And then in current positions, we should always also have the, as one of the columns, the amount of leverage. Okay, let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and start that. Start with that. Rico in the house. Oh, what up, bro? Now let's update the features grid to remove the stop loss take profit toggle and simplify the layout. Nice. Oh, cool. I can make this bigger. Nice. Account value, P&L, total P&L. Let's also add in that active loss tracking. Let's also do the math. So we have the starting value, but we'll also have lowest value allowed. And that will just do the math of starting value minus max allowed. Let's also change the max allowed to max loss, max daily loss. Dr. Datadog's anti-tilt protection for hyperliquid. Updating JavaScript to handle new features. Now let's update the display positions function to show leverage. Let's have this ride while I want to look into Polymarket a bit because I did see a good idea. So let's look at it. So you got baseball here, spreads, money line, 55 cents, 53 cents. Why does it say 47 is my question. Shares. Okay, there's a lot of shares on there. I saw a good idea of just sitting on the bid and the ask of sports games because they have emotional traders. If that makes sense. 47 and 44. 47. Oh, this is moving fast. Yeah. Total 100. Let's try this a little bit. I'm going to try it by hand just for now. Let's wait for this to be done. So, buy, bid, market. Market at 45 cents. Let's say 10. At 45 cents, so I should be seeing on the bid. Okay, perfect. And then I would sell I need a bot to do this for sure. Okay, it did just fill though, right? Holder activity, all positions here. Okay, great. I have a position. And then let me sell it. Sell it at 48 cents. Wait, I bought it at 45, yeah. Sell 10 shares at the bid. And this would be sell bucks. Okay, I should be sitting there. Oh, and then somebody jumped in and front ran me for 8,000. Theoretically looks like a good idea, but we'll see. Maybe I'll build for that later. There are some 777s in the chat if you want to see more Polymarket stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and read through what she did. Perfect, Dr. Datadog. All your requested features are now implemented. Completed improvements. Leverage column. Shows leverage for each position in the table. Highlighted red if over max. Auto stop loss take profit. Always on. No more toggle switch. Always active when protection starts. Centered protection button. Big centered button. 24-hour P&L. Max leverage protection, new feature that closes all positions if leverage exceeds your set limit of 10x. Past execution log. Beautiful log at the bottom showing stop loss, take profit, max drawdown, timestamps, simplified UI, all settings in one clean row activated with one button. How it works, set your parameters. Okay, in the active loss tracking, let's also do the math. Okay, yeah, let's add that for sure. Compacting combo, good job. Great timing. Let's go ahead and check this out. So I don't have any positions on. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, this is nice. So auto stop loss take profit, max drawdown protection, max leverage protection, closes all positions if leverage exceeds this value. What other risk controls as a hand trader do you need? You got your take profit, your stop loss. You got your max loss in a session. Max leverage closes all positions if leverage exceeds this value. Let me know if you have any other um, hand trader type risk protection. Let's assume this is like the risk controller. So one thing, I'll explain it to ChatGPT. Um, and then if you have input, I'll check the chat here in a sec. So one thing I noticed when visiting hedge funds and New York type quant firms is they have a risk department. But as a individual quantitative trader that might be doing this out of their bedroom like me, you don't have a whole department managing risk. And risk is the number one thing to manage. And that's the number one piece of alpha, really, that a lot of these big funds, they know when not to trade. Not necessarily when to take trades, but when not to trade. So there are, from when I used to trade by hand, there were some things that used to get me killed. And that was I would not respect my stop loss. I would not respect my take profit. I would not respect my max drawdown. And I would crank up the leverage too high. Give me some other very common things that hand traders. Hello? Damn. Okay, here, I found it actually. Hand traders, some other things that kills them in trading. You know, if there was like, okay, so I built an app that essentially is gonna make sure that I'm always respecting stop loss to take profit, max drawdown, my leverage, and these things can be in the cloud, kind of like, you know, funds do. But what are some other things that we could build into this to make it the ultimate risk controller? Give me 10 of your best ideas, thank you. And as I said that, there's another one that is going to be really good, but I'm blanking on it. So hopefully she'll bring it up. But that's going to be sick. It's going to be sick, and it's going to be perfect for this. So max leverage, max drawdown, auto stop loss. Those things are important. Oh, okay. That's another good one. Um, the VIX being crazy. VIX too volatile to be trading. Perfect framing. You're 100% right. What hedge funds call a risk department is really an always on guardian that enforces discipline. For solo quants, that role must be automated. Here are 10 deeply practical ideas that could be built into your ultimate risk controller, each mirroring institutional grade practices but simplified for an independent trader. Okay, nice. She's done as well. Rename max loss to max daily loss through the UI. Added lowest value allowed. Calculation that shows starting value minus max day. Reorganize the loss tracker layout to show 5 columns with the new calculation. Updated the JavaScript to calculate the display the lowest allowed. Is there a place you can get the VIX data, fresh VIX data for, each 15 minutes or something? Don't code anything, just answer that. And if you can, then it'll be interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead here. Here are 10 deeply practical ideas that could be built into your ultimate risk controller, each mirroring institutional grade practices, but simplified for an independent trader. Volatility adaptive position sizing. Automatically scale position size based on realized or implied volatility, ATR, GARCH, or realized variance. If volatility spikes, exposure automatically shrinks to maintain constant risk per trade. Equity curve risk circuit breaker. Track the running P&L curve in real time. If an equity drops by a set percentage or the slope turns negative over end trades, auto pause all trading until conditions reset. Time-based cooldown after losses. After a series of losses, e.g. 3 trades in a row, enforce a mandatory timeout, 1 hour, 1 day, whatever fits the time frame. So I've got something like that. Leverage scaling ladder. Instead of manual leverage decisions, enforce a ladder. Equity up, leverage capped at X. Equity flat, leverage allowed up to Y. Equity down, leverage auto cut to Z. Correlated exposure limits. Detect if multiple open trades are correlated, same sector, same direction, or same factor exposure. Auto reduce aggregate exposure when portfolio correlation exceeds a set threshold. Integrate regime classifier, trending, ranging, high volatility, low liquidity. If the current regime is not aligned with your strategy's historical edge, the bot auto disables or halves the position. Execution quality guardrails. Measure slippage, order rejections, and fill delays if execution quality deteriorates beyond a threshold of e.g. 20 bips. Daily VAR, CVAR enforcement. Calculate a rolling 1 day value at risk or conditional VAR from recent P&L volatility. Strategy level isolation. Each strategy runs its own risk silo. If one model hits its drawdown or risk budget, it shuts off independently without affecting others, mirroring how multi-manager hedge funds isolate PMs. News event filter. Integrate an API like FMP, Bazinga, bonus behavior mirror dashboard. Log every override or rule breach. You broke the rule here. After a month, visualize what percentage of losses came from ignored rules. Maybe an entry. I mean, they have a TWAP on there. No, I want to focus solely on risk. Solely on risk. Okay, I'm checking the chat. What up, Humas? Trailing stop loss? Okay. That could be cool. That could be real cool. Trailing stop loss. So how would that be inputted? What about a trailing stop loss? Could you explain how that would be? What about a trailing stop loss on this? How would we go ahead and put in a trailing stop loss or build something similar to that? Explain how they work. I think it's based off a percentage after it hits a certain point, and then explain how we would implement it into this bot, this app. Don't code anything again. Just talk to me. Okay, so Polygon IO, good real-time free tier available with limited calls. TradingView widget, Alpha Vantage API, Yahoo Finance API, updates every minute during market hours. Oh, for real? A trailing stop is a dynamic stop that moves up with profits, but never moves down. A trailing stop is a dynamic stop that moves up with profits, but never moves down. Here's how it works. Basic concept. You set a trailing stop, e.g. 5%. As price goes up, the stop follows it up, always staying 5% below the highest point. If the price drops, the stop loss stays locked at its highest point. When the price drops to the hit stop position, it closes. Example, enter BTC long at 100,000. Set a 5% trailing stop. Price moves to 110,000, stop moves to 104,000. Price raises to 115,000, stop moves to 109,000. Price drops to 112,000, stop stays at 109,000, doesn't move down. Price drops to 109,250. How do we implement it into the app? Since you already have position monitoring every 2 seconds, we could add trailing stop logic. Great call, Hamas. Appreciate you, bro. Track high watermark for each position, store highest price. Current stop level. Users trailing percentage. Update logic. In your monitoring loop for each position, get current price. If price is over highest price. If current price is under highest price. UI addition add to your risk protection settings, toggle use trailing stop loss. The nice thing is you already have all the infrastructure and position monitoring, automatic closing, Python helper for executions. Some traders also like an activation level, like only start trailing after 10% profit, so you don't get stopped out immediately on small moves. Past executions, okay, great. How would you cleanly implement this into the app? I feel like there's space under max leverage position, but yeah, you would have to move that closes positions if leverage exceeds this. You'd have to move that next to the max leverage, and then you could have that section in the bottom right open up to a trailing stop. And then I liked what you said about the you could like check mark only active after take profit is hit or something. I like that idea, but if you can figure out how to put that into the dash all nicely, that'd be dope. and also implement it correctly, of course. Functionality is interesting. Yo, does anybody have a Mac in here? Throw a 777 in the chat if you're using Mac. And what would I use this currently on my Mac, this app, and it works great. But what is the process for putting it on PC as well? I know we're using some sort of framework here, but yeah, does it work on PC as well, or is this Mac only? And if it's only Mac, then what's the process of getting it working for everything? Also, what's the process for me to distribute this? Like just put it on the website with like a download button, or how does that work? Mog has a Mac, okay. Um, I still have my cell here. Average cost 45. So, I don't really watch baseball. And this is basketball, so I don't watch baseball, but this is basketball, so that's funny, bro. Funny bunny. Okay, I'll add the trailing stop logic. Let me insert it right after the regular stop loss take profit. Also, with the trailing stop logic, how do you ensure that the actual take profit doesn't trigger? Can you double check that, if the trailing stop is set, then the take profit won't trigger without, yeah, it'll kind of move it to the trailing stop. Also, can you put the default stop loss and take profit to 5%? Focus got a Mac. Okay. So he's always locked because he's on the Mac. Let's go look at a couple other of these sports. The thesis somebody brought up was people are very emotional sports bettors. So if there's a spread, which it doesn't look like there's a huge amount here, it looks pretty clean to me. But you could just sit on the bid and then ask, because you're going to have people coming through and emotionally just getting into it. I think I can use some algos or something here to see what the see if there's any see if there's like a lot of what's going on. There's currently no way to sort this very well. Hide crypto markets, hide sports markets, frequency all, status active, 24-hour resolution. 4 million. When will the government shutdown end? How many days will the government be shut down? World Series champion. Okay, great. So let's read through what she did here. I've successfully implemented the clean trailing stop loss feature into your app. Here's what was added. The UI changes organized the layout, made the max leverage input more compact in line to free up space, added a new trailing stop loss section below the main risk controls with checkbox to enable disable trailing stops. Trailing distance percent input, how far the stop trails behind the high. Activation mode, drop down with 3 options. Immediate starts trailing right away. After percent profit, only activates after reaching X percent. After take profit percentage, activates when take profit. Functionality tracks high watermarks for each position independently. Works for both long and short positions. Longs trails below the highest price. Shorts trails above the lowest reached. Smart activation can wait until you're in profit before activating. Integrated with existing systems, uses the same closing mechanism as SLTP. Shows an execution log when trailing stops activated. Clean up trailing data when positions close. Green notification when trailing stop closes. Profit protection. How it works: when enabled, the system tracks the best price for each position. The stop follows profitable moves but locks in place when price reverses. If price hits the trailing stop level, position auto closes. The after take profit percentage option is particularly clever. It lets your winners run but protects profits once they hit your target. The UI cleanly fits in the dashboard with the trailing stop controls disabled by default and enabling when you check the box. The smartly activated threshold field also smartly disables when set to immediate mode since it's not needed. This gives you professional level trailing stop functionality. Great, let's go check it out. Okay, here we go. This looks about poorly now. Trailing stop percentage 5. Activation mode immediate after percentage profit. Um, what about please return this back to how it looked before. It looks poor now. And then for the trailing stop, let's just have it be, let's swap where stop loss and take profit are. So take profits up top, stop loss is at bottom. Let's remove that trailing stop section. And let's just have a check mark, a checkbox next to stop loss that says trailing stop. And then if you check mark it, then it will be a trailing stop acting as a trailing stop that is set immediately. So, you know, if the stop loss is 5%, then it'll always trail 5%. This will make it just much simpler on the UI, and we can get rid of that new section you made with all the options. Past executions. Let's read what she said about Windows. Cross-platform support. Added platform detection for Python Windows. The app will now work for PC, just needs Python installed. Created build configuration for creating installers. Creates DMG and zip files. Creates .exe. Creates app image. To build for distribution, save dev electron, npm run build. Build mac.exe. After building, you'll find the installers in the dist folder. Upload moondev risk control DMG for Mac users. Upload moondev risk controller setup 1.00. Add download buttons for on your website pointing to these files. Fix the logic so that once trailing stop is activated, regular take profit is disabled. Trailing stop takes over profit protection. Default values updated. Change stop loss from 0.1 to 5.5. Important notes for PC distribution. User needs Python installed with Hyperliquid Python SDK. You might want to bundle Python with the app using something like PyInstaller for the Python script. Consider code signing for Windows, Mac to avoid security warnings. The app is now ready to run cross-platform. The trailing stop won't interfere with take profit. So my question is you said that on Windows they have to install Python first. Is that the same for Mac? Um, I'm looking for like a user-friendly non-coder type thing, so that might be a little bit hard. Don't change anything, just tell me the truth. Okay, I want to read what she said. Perfect. I've successfully reverted the max leverage UI back to the clean version. Remove the complex trailing stop section with all the activations. Swap take profit and stop loss. Added a simple trailing checkbox next to the stop loss input. Simplified the trailing logic to always use stop loss percentage as the trailing distance. The new simplified trailing stop works like this. When trailing is checked, the stop loss becomes a trailing stop. It activates immediately and always trails at the stop loss and distance. If the stop loss is 5%, it will always stay 5% below the highest price for longs, 5% the lowest price for shorts. When trailing is active, regular take profit is disabled to let profits run. Much cleaner UI. Okay, let's go ahead and check that UI out, cuz. Let's check it out. PM start. Okay, there we go. I want to see how it works. 1% take profit. Max leverage. I'm gonna put it in a position with too much leverage here. See if that works. First off, start protection. Start protection. Max leverage exceeded, closing all positions. Nice, dude. Protection start, stop loss, take profit. Beautiful, bro. So lowest allowed is negative $29. Nice. I could go that low. I didn't put the trailing stop in yet, so okay. Let's stop protection. Are you sure you want to stop protection? Stop. I don't want that confirmation when they click start protection. I just want it to start. Okay, trailing stop now. Let's try that. Leverage. Let's I just want it to be fast, so I'm just testing it with high leverage. Don't trade like this. Start protection session. Start protection. Okay, max leverage 40, stop protection, and then I'm gonna go ahead and buy whatever way, it doesn't matter. Position closed successfully. I wonder why. Stop loss hit my negative 1%. Cool, this works great, dude. Stop loss, say 2%. Protection's already started here, so let's do it again. Sell. Okay, I'm in a position. I'm up 0.5%. It should show that. Closing P&L. Huh. I had a weird bug. I entered a position and it immediately took me out for a trailing stop. Even though the trailing stop was 2%. This was a short position I took. I don't have much more debugging for you than that. Just make sure the numbers are right both ways. Protection active. Active current loss is that. Also that, dude. Also, I noticed that the current loss is correct, but the top P&L shows at zero still, so that should pretty much be equal. 24-hour P&L. Okay, the issue you experienced was that for a short position, it was comparing the current price against an incorrectly initialized stop level. Okay, let's go ahead and let's try it again. Trailing, say at 2%, take profit at 5, trailing 100 loss, let's say 30 loss session. Okay, max levy 40, 409. Let's say start protection, and then let me get into a position here. Closing. Did the same thing. I actually had the same problem. I took a short again and immediately closed with the trailing stop. The way this should work is it should see right when I enter. Okay, it logs that price right when I enter. And then it knows that price and okay, my P&L is up whatever percentage. The price is now whatever it is goes down. Well, the trailing stop in a short position would be higher, right? 2% higher. And for a long, it would be 2% lower. Shouldn't be too hard to implement. You got this. So when protection is not active, shows the regular 24-hour P&L from open positions. When protection is active, it shows the session P&L. This way, the 24-hour P&L at the top will match the current loss. Jimmy. Okay, so here we go. Let's get this trailing stop working. Now that trailing stop logic is fixed, okay. Let's see about that, bro. Let's see about that. Okay, so protection active. Let's go ahead and restart this because we got a new version. Oh, nice. It keeps my old stuff. Let's call this trailing. Place order. Oh, snap. Closing. See, it just closes immediately with the trailing stop. It's still closing immediately when it sees a position when the trailing stops. So have it be your entry, or when it sees the position, when you see the position, that's when it starts it. And remember, the trailing stop in my example is at 2%. And so when I enter the position, it shouldn't exit it immediately with the trailing stop. It makes no sense. Dang, made no sense. Let's see if she can figure it out, though. You're absolutely right. The issue is we're being too clever with the best price logic. We need to first detect the position. We should treat that moment as the starting point. The trailing stop should be 2% away from the current price when we first see it. Yes. Now I fixed the trailing stop to work correctly. Start from current price when detected. When we first see your position, we use this as the market price. Perfect. And make sure that you account for leverage in there too. So you'll see the current price, but you'll also see their leverage they're using in order to make the math correct. Okay, so perfect. Let's go ahead and NPM start. Okay. Let's try a trailing stop here. Trailing. Okay. $100 loss. Let's make it 50. Let's make this faster with some leverage. Okay. Trailing stop. Let's see if it hits it right away. If it does it again right away, I'm gonna smash the computer. So position 40x, size, value. Damn, that's $1,000. How? Damn, leverage is crazy when you use this much. Yeah, it is that much. 1,288. P&L 85 cents. So usually take profit at 5%. Stop loss It's trailing. So now if it moves 2%, it'll get out, hopefully. So let's watch it. So trailing, yeah, because it went down. Perfect, dude. Perfect. Position close, successful. We got trailing stop. Clean, 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 clean. Clean, clean, clean. Clean, 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 dude. Clean, clean, clean. Wait, it didn't close it. Let's see what happened. Order could not immediately match against resting orders. I got the docs right here. So my trailing stop triggered, but it only put in one order, I think, and didn't close it fully. I'm still in the position. Trade history. Yeah. So trade history, order history here. Closed short, got rejected. So remember, it's got a loop until it do close. And that is confirmed, you know? You're absolutely right. The issue is that IOC order didn't fill completely, but the code is treating it as successful just because it got a response. That's facts, B. Let's get it. What time is it? 9:47 on a Monday? Oh, it's Monday today. Look at that. Hey, this is actually pretty cool that we can sports bet now. Now that I think about it. Okay, Hawks versus Rockets. Huge spread. But it's not. See, it says it is, but then it's not. Maybe this is percentages or something that the chances they're gonna win. I don't know. But you could see the total volume here is higher, 18 there. So you could say 40 to 42. Okay, let me try that. So I'll sit on 40, and then when it fills, I'll place a bid on 42 because there's only $18 worth here. See how that goes. Just kind of test it, thinking these ideas through here. Killing two birds, one stone. It's actually two stones, but perfect. Now the closing logic is much more robust. Okay, let's see it. Two, 40, star protection. So you can see the short here, still in position. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Clay, what's up, dude? 777. George, good to see you. 777, thank you. Bendiciones, bendiciones. Pebbles, what's up, dub?
This is a young man that said that he bought seven rental units and he regrets it. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like. This is probably gonna be a lot more financially focused.
Okay, so you can see here, it removed the active loss tracking session. Replace 24-hour with lowest allowed. Account value. Protection status. Dynamic protection button. The button now shows red, start protection. Changes to green, stop protection. I feel like it should be the other way around. I feel like it should be the other way around. It should be green to start protection and red to stop. I mean, that's just me though. Nice. So let's go check it out. Terminal here. NPM start. Okay. Start protection session. Lowest allowed. Protection status not active. Let's go ahead and put in a trade here. Doesn't matter which way. Okay. I haven't hit it. I haven't hit the start protection yet, so let's go ahead and say stop loss 2 and let's make it trailing. Take profit 5, max loss 30, max leverage 40, session start protection. I got an error. Remember, we don't need that red section anymore with the protection active, but we got errors here on the account value and lowest allowed. Closing position, stop loss hit. Okay. Nice, dude. Beautiful. Still an error. I'm gonna kill it then. I've cleaned up the UI, removed the section, redundant section. Nice. Let's go ahead here, see how this goes now. So it does say account value, good. Let's say trailing stop at 2%. Max loss $30. Start protection here. Nice, dude. So account value, lowest allowed. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you can see it's taking me out of position, trailing stop hit. Let's add this to be, let's add these notifications to be at the top of the screen. So right under where the header, above the account value and all that good stuff. We should also have one that says new position detected. Shimo 777, the 777 watches over you. Be strong and courageous. Do not be anxious about anything. Make it happen. Don't raise your voice. Improve your argument. The 777 watches over you. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you'll find. Let us not become weary in doing good. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Don't count the days, make the days count. Perfect. Move the notifications to the top of the screen. All notifications now appear right above or right below the header. They're positioned above the account value cards for better visibility. Added new detection of new position. Okay, let's go ahead and try it out. And then I'm gonna see if it can actually see the new position. So trailing stop, let's say 2% trailing, max loss 30, max lev a billion, session per, okay, active, current positions are none, stop loss, stop loss. Nice, dude. Wait, why are all the stop losses at 2.3%? Well, I guess they aren't. That was just ironic. Okay, long or short, doesn't matter. Um, all-time high. It's long, the all-time highs get wrecked. Okay, so here we go. New position detected at Nanex leverage. It said that a new position detected at Nan-X leverage, so it didn't seem to work. Okay, so when they click stop protection, in order for them to stop protection, let's have a pop-up that says type in the following sentence in order to stop protection. I am stopping tilt protection. I may be on tilt right now, but am still stopping it even if I should not. It's not case sensitive. Okay, closing position, trailing stop hit. Nice, dude. So no open positions, position closed successfully. Beautiful. So now the trailing stop works. And did that take profit? No. There was no profit. That's why balance is down. But that's okay. Just want to get these toolings done. And then it's going to be usable. Let's have it say that instead. This is clear and more direct. Beautiful. That's what we want, dog. That's what we want. Okay, let's run it. NPM start. Okay. Lowest allowed. Let's say 2% trailing stop 30. And this can be 40. Okay. 12-hour session. And let's say start protection here. Okay, there's no positions. And we'll go take a position here. See what happens. New position detected. BTC short at 40x leverage. So I want to move this section here. I want to move this section one block up. Meaning right below account value and lows allowed, but it will only show the wording current positions and the current positions if there are current positions. Nah, we'll keep it down there. Yeah, actually, I do want it there. So if there are no current positions, this section won't even appear, nor will the header that says current positions. So I wonder why this one closed, by the way. Trailing stop. Approaching the Opus weekly limit? What the hell? Also, it got me out of a position successfully, but it didn't tell me why here in the reasoning below. It just said, okay, I activated the trailing stop, but I didn't see the actual reason. I Jimmy Shimo Rico, Jimmy Shimo Rico, Duh, George Clay, JP, DJ, Jimmy, Mog, Mog, Mog through the hard times. Now let's also improve the execution log to show more detail about why the trailing stop was hit. Thank you. I've improved the trailing stop logging to be much clearer. What was fixed? Better console logging, okay. More detailed execution, okay. Clear notifications, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and see how I do though. NPM start, okay. I'm gonna put these stuffs on. So 2%, okay. Daily max 30, okay. 40, okay. Start protection service session, okay. Let's go ahead and place an order. Okay. New position detected. Okay. Nice. This is better up here. Can see short 40x. 0.017 size. Value is 2,000. $80. Trailing stop hit. Best was 1.58. Trailed 2%. And then it went to negative. Okay, dude. So I want to check this out. I don't like a trailing stop loss. I don't love it, but let's say 5%. And just keep trying this. Keep testing these. I'm just gonna burn cash testing this, but it's okay. It's only a few bucks. The more you trade, the less you have. Remember that. These will kill you. Okay, so you can see the position here. I want to see what happens. Stop protection session. I confirm I am stopping tilt protection, which is the point of this app. Let's change it to that. I'm gonna cancel because, that's the whole point of this tilt protection. So the P&L looks perfect. Matches up directly. I'm looking at my computer over here, which is awesome. Risk protection settings here. Excuse me. You can see the problem here. P&L is at 5+%. Take profit is at 5%, and it did not close the position. I can't believe they put a weekly limit on here. Opus weekly limit. Okay, it says it fixed the issue. Let's see if it gets us out. Terminal here. NPM start. Take profit hit. Position successfully closed. Nice, dude. 7.96%. And it took that full profit here. Okay, let's keep the same here. Start protection. Stop protection. Lowest allowed is negative 42 because I F'd that up, but that's okay. I do want to try that though. Lowest allowed. I want to see. I confirm I am stopping tilt protection, which is the point of this app, and I may lose money. Nice. Oh gosh. That's a funny feature, but I think it's necessary. All right, I want to test this drawdown protection, make sure that works. Start protection session. Okay, if I go under $56 on the day, then it should close me. $56, $51. So I just need to lose 40 cents. Wait. Yeah, I lost. Perfect. Closing new position. Max loss protection active. We back. I just keep showing my keys off, and it's not very fun. It's just not very fun if you understand what that means. Nice, dude. Nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it back. Then I'm gonna try to get into a max drawdown situation. Okay, can't count balance. So let me go ahead and see this max daily loss happen again or work perfectly. Start session. Let me get into a position. Okay, so it is active. And now protection start, perfect. Max loss is $1. So I can't lose more than $1. So let me go ahead and try to lose more than $1. Place order. New position detected. And it should be a few cents. Max drawdown hit, closing new position, max loss. It's close. All positions closed. Max drawdown protection activated. All positions closed. Okay, let's try to get in a new position here. Cause this is, you're on tilt and you're like, oh God, I gotta get in another position. Oh yeah, oh let me get in another position. Oh yeah, oh come on, let's get it, let's go. Okay, and it sees a new position detected, and it's like, nah. It said no way, bro. You're not playing this game no more. Okay, let me try again. I'm just on tilt right now. I'm just tilted, dude. I'm just tilted. Just tilted. It's absolutely tilted. Oh, new position. Nope. Psych. You're not trading anymore. You're done. Get him out of here. You're done. And then you go down here and you say stop protection session because you're so tilted. And then you'll be like, fudge. I confirm I am stopping tilt protection, which is the point of this app, and I may lose money. Stop protection. Ha ha! And now you can go on being tilted. So I feel like this is pretty slick for a hand trader. I think it's pretty slick, bro. Um, we knocked this out in like a day or two. So yeah, I think it's done. I think it's done. What else do I want on it? Risk protection settings. That's all I want. I think this is sick, dude.